teacher tells me real beauty's on the inside.
That's just something ugly people say.
I'm always on here giving very general advice. Oh, to look more attractive, you need to be at a low body fat, you need an attractive face, all this stuff. But today what I'm actually going to do is give you 10 more niche, very specific looks maxing terms that means that you have an attractive face specifically. So if you've got any of these 10 things, there's a good chance you have an attractive face. If you have all 10, probably means you're quite handsome, man. So without further ado, let's get it. Number 1 is going to be all about the mid-face ratio and having a compact mid-face. So a very attractive trait on faces is going to be if the bottom of the nose to the top of the lip is actually going to be a little bit shorter and making a more compact mid-face. Mine kind of actually has a little bit of distance, but if yours is shorter, looks very good. Now if you have this combined with high set cheekbones, so the cheekbones are nice and high, which I do have fairly high cheekbones, this is going to combine together to create a very youthful aesthetic look. Think of David Gandy or a young Brad Pitt. Very masculine and very sexy. The best way to actually get this, it's as silly as possible, is just going to be facial development, man. Making sure that during puberty, during the early years, you're having proper hormones, proper testosterone, human growth hormone to properly develop the face. Number 2 is going to be Canthal tilt. Now, it needs to be neutral or it needs to be positive, but it cannot be negative. Otherwise, this will actually deduct some points from your face facially. So, how to actually find out the Canthal tilt is going to be the outside of the eye compared to the middle and pretty much just make a line. So if you look at mine, for example, it goes up slightly, meaning that I have positive Canthal tilt. And we want to be looking at the face head on rather than like from an upward angle or downward angle, because obviously this creates illusions. Now there are lots of very attractive faces with neutral and with negative Canthal tilt. Neutral, a good example would be Chico. He has neutral Canthal tilt, but he still looks very attractive. And negative Canthal tilt, think of Brett Maverick. He has very negative Canthal tilt. It almost makes the eyes look sad. Brett, if you're watching this, I'm not roasting you. You are very handsome, and he's a great example of how you can still look like a Chad. You can look great even with a bad Canthal tilt. It's not over, man. An angular nasal bridge. Now, there are a lot of people, now this one you cannot really do anything, but it's actually one of the easiest things to fix on the face because you can just get a very simple nose job, honestly. So, what you want to do, you want to have a nose like a Greek god. So, from this point down to the end, you want it very angular and sharp. You don't want it all curved. You don't want it looking too weird or stand out too much. So, if it is sharp, if it is angular, just like a Greek god, this is going to be very sexy, very masculine. The nose also, obviously, we don't want it too big and also too small. The nose really is not an attractive or unattractive feature. You just want to make sure it doesn't take away and distract from the face. Like you just got this huge beak up there. Then I would suggest that you fix it. There are some great examples. I think Austin Dunham, I'm not throwing shade. He obviously got a nose job. It looks fantastic. This is a very good example of how you can positively affect your looks just by changing the nose. Having clear, glowing, beautiful, radiant skin is obviously one of the best health markers, and it's going to make you look way more attractive if you do have this feature, which brings us directly into today's video sponsor, Tish Hanley. That's why I'm excited to have Tish Hanley as today's video sponsor. Tish Hanley's skincare systems are designed around routines, the same way you live your life, simple and uncomplicated. They require just a few minutes in the morning and before bed, so you can stay focused on what really matters to you. Seriously, I don't think some of you guys understand how much implementing a quality skincare routine will instantly improve your life and the amount of confidence that you have. Tish Hanley's performance-driven formulas addresses men's different needs, so you'll always feel great about how your skin looks and feels, whether you're starting a new job or meeting up on a first date. I recommend all you guys start with their level 1 system. It comes with all of the essentials: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, AM moisturizer with SPF 20 to protect you from the harmful rays of the sun, and a PM moisturizer. Oh, and to make it dead simple for guys like you and me, they even include an awesome instruction card telling you step by step how to use their system. Teach Hanley has your skincare needs covered, including acne. This is their acne clearing breakout busting routine called Teach Clear. It's a powerful system that gives you everything you need to win the fight against acne. But don't just take my word for it. Trust the millions of guys all over the world who use Teach Hanley with over 16,000 5-star reviews. And Teach Hanley thinks that you will agree, which is why they give their handsome guarantee. Love it or get your full money back, no questions asked. When it comes to skincare, prevention is everything. Start fighting the signs of aging today. Your future self is going to thank you. And since Teach Hanley's today's video sponsor, obviously they're going to offer you guys an amazing deal. Save up to 40% your first box today and get a free gift valued at $20. Plus sign up as a member and get 20% off for life. By the way, one of their new gifts is this body scrubber, the ultimate grooming tool to effortlessly exfoliate the skin. Valued at $20, it's yours for free. You can now find Teach Hanley in hundreds of stores across the US. Click the link below to find a store near you. But if you want the best offer, shop through my link in the link below and start your skincare routine today. Link in the description, guys. Prominent orbital bones. We want a deep set, hollowed upper eye area. We actually want a little bit of depth around the eyes. Like we want them deep into the skull rather than just out on the edge of the face, as this is gonna look a lot more masculine and a lot more sexy overall. If your eyes are too puffy or too round, losing body fat and getting rid of any facial bloating will actually help define the eyes much more, adding that more model-esque look to your face. This one, it comes down to obviously getting that area developed during puberty with hormonal optimization, doing mewing, everything like this, and then being at a very low body fat and reducing facial bloating to really show the eye area off, man. A well-defined Cupid's bow. Now this is going to be one of my biggest downsides, something that you could easily fix if you wanted to, for example, get a little bit of Botox, but this is the bow. This is going to be the upper lip, and it looks a lot more aesthetic. It looks way sexier when this is filled out a little bit more. It's accentuated, like it looks like a freaking bow on your lips. Now this means that naturally you just have more thicker, fuller lips. This is very aesthetic. It brings the face together, makes it look more symmetrical, and if you're lacking in this, you could just get a little bit of filler and this would fix it, but you could do what I'm doing and just embrace it, man. You don't have to be perfect, and I think a little bit of imperfections make you sexier actually. But overly plump lips can look too soft and look too feminine, so you want to find the right amount of contrast. Never go way too overboard. Shadowed temples. This is something really never talked about in the looksmaxing community, but this is going to be by having that protruding strong brow ridge, which is right here. This is mostly built from actually facial development. If you could see, there's like a muscle in my face. A lot of people actually get filler to kind of fill this out, but it creates a lot of structure and a lot of definition in the face, and you should have a little bit of shadowing around it. You don't have a brow ridge like this, you don't have the shadowing around it, you need to focus on developing your facial features as much as possible, as well as getting to that low body fat percentage. A good hairline is obviously going to be a very attractive feature. Now, there's going to be two different types of hairlines that you could go for. Obviously, you can't just choose your hairline, but I'm speaking in terms of attractiveness. So the first one is going to be that straight, boyish hairline. Almost think of like Brad Pitt his entire life. Really small forehead, insane hairline, and this is a little bit more female gaze. This is a little bit prettier. And then the other type of hairline that is acceptable is that Henry Cavill, that matured hairline. It's not receding, because after you hit puberty, actually oftentimes the temples will recede just slightly, creating almost more of a widow's peak, but there's nothing wrong with your hairline, and lots of women are actually turned on by this, man. It's a very masculine attribute, and it's not unattractive. The only unattractive hairline is honestly whenever you're very much receding and you are trying to either hide it or you refuse to shave. You're a little bit too afraid to go all the way. So having a good hairline is a very attractive trait. Defined masseter muscles without being overly defined are very sexy. So overly defined is going to be when the masseters is wider than the midface, for example. This is going to ruin all of the symmetry of your face, but also you don't want masseters that just look underdeveloped. You never chew anything hard. There's not any muscle there right there. If you can't go like this, flex the masseters as if you actually have muscle there, this means that you're extremely under muscle. Like if there's just nothing there, then this is not a good look. You need to start training the masseters. I would either chew on a mouthpiece, I would get one of those jaw exercisers, anything like that. Mastigum is also fantastic. Any of these options, but do not go overboard. It's very easy to go overboard. Last but not least is going to actually be purely body fat and facial bloating. This is actually going to be something not a lot of people talk about. I've never actually heard this spoken about. It is going to be a forehead vein, man. Once you get lean enough, every now and then in the right lighting, lots of guys will get a forehead vein. It's gonna pop. Maybe when you're exercising, maybe when you look down at a certain angle, you're gonna get that forehead vein popping. Overall, veins are sexy. It signals that you have high testosterone, blood flowing, low body fat. And when people see veins, especially women, they assume you got that sort of blood flow everywhere, and when the time comes, you're going to be on diamond mode. You are ready to go. So having veins, in particular on the forehead, I would even argue the neck, are very sexy. There's nothing wrong with it, man. That's it though. Subscribe if you're new. I love you guys with all my heart. Peace.